Hello YouTube, and today on this project we've got a nice little install in a loft. We've ripped out an old school vented tank and loft tanks. They're all out and we're installing this new unvented cylinder with a solar coil up in the loft. As you can see, I've already made a start on it. I've made a board and I've put the expansion vessel up, but from now on we're going to then reconnect these pipes, connect them in the loft, and you'll see this in a point of view style and also a bit of talking over the top. So I was going to solder it. As you can see, I've got some soldered fittings, but instead we use some M-press fittings, which is definitely a lifesaver. It was very hot in this loft. It was 26 degrees on this day, so there is some heavy breathing, so do bear with me. It is also quite a long video, about an hour and a half, so if you do stay to the end, then thank you, but if not, it's fine. But for now, enjoy the video, take care, and I'll see you around soon. That's all pressed. The cold main is pressed. That's the cold main done. Up to the lever valve. Next, we got our mix from up there. Got to get our mix down onto this one here, and we've got to put a T onto the hot to pick these shower feeds up. So what we could do is, that's long, going that way, so we've just got to press that on that side. We haven't got to pick anything else up, so we take an elbow up and a press gun up. What we're gonna do is that's gonna go in the level, goes on that. There. Pencil or pen or pencil. Mark that, and then from that mark, which is there, we're going to offer that up there and just cut it there. Literally put a new blade in this yesterday. Right, and then what we need to do is offer this up level. So that's level there, which is there, and mark it like so. Cut that. This system was a gravity system. The tanks were here. I've removed some of these boards, but there was a cold water storage tank and a header tank for the heating. They also got an auger, which is getting capped off and getting turned to electric, 'cause that's split. So they've got this unvented solar coil, and they have new solar panels on the roof to do the hot water, and then they're just going to direct. It's just direct cylinder apart from that, the solar direct. So that's going off timer. So I'll put that up. Lovely, lovely. That's all nice and in. Let's go level. Lovely, lovely. So we can press that, because that's our mix out. So that's our TMV valve, so that's our hot going that way. So we'll just press that in place. Lovely. That's our hot done. You can mark all the ones you've pressed. A little X. Right, so that's our hot going round. Then we've got our balance cold, which is here. So our balance cold is also going round, and we've got to pick up the shower, and then we've got to bring up there's two 22 downs feeding two sides of the house. So we've got to connect onto them. Then we've got a hot in up here, which has got to go
up there, and we've got our expansion vessel to connect. This we're changing. We're going to cut a drain off and turn it to an elbow. So the hot that way needs connecting. Let's do this while it's here. This is getting removed. So we can cut a T in on this. What can we do? What we need is we should have T. Again, and the 15mm jaws. So what we need to do is we need to cut this bad boy in here. So let's do it nice and to there, shall we? So let's cut that nice and tight, but then the elbow is going to go on there, which will need cutting back a bit, so it's going to be something like, if we put it in the centre, something like that, I reckon. So cut that there. We've got to cut that off anyway, so we'll cut it in, just put that in the end. That's lovely. We can paste that up as well. Paste, grip spanners, going to paste that edge just a little bit, nothing major, and then I'll put that in a little bit more paste up here. Just move that paste up a bit. It's nice and in. Paste a little bit on it as well. Cool. That like so, then we can, these don't fit every nut, but they fit 90% of them. So yeah, this one fits. Just gonna lightly tighten that so it moves a little bit. I'm also going to mark it with our pencil so we know if it's moved out or not. Get quite a deep thread on it anyway, so that's fine. Then what was we doing? We was cutting this 22. That's the only problem with plumbing. You lose everything and you're probably sitting on 90% of the stuff you need. There's a cutter. So we're going to cut that there, weren't we? So we can either have it like that, or we can face it down like so. and we'll probably face it like what looks best. At least you can get to it there. Underneath's a bit awkward, isn't it, if you've got to change. Let's go like that, I reckon. Something level like that. Then, what we got to do, check off there. I think we start up here. That elbow on there. And off of there. And then off of that onto there. There's a level on here. A bit further out. So if we cut this down a bit. So that should, let's close this. Lovely. So that's all in there. Lovely. So that's all in there. And as this is square to this, next side just that way. There. Mark that there. So that would be that part, and then cut it back to there. Lovely. So that's where that needs cutting. Just do there. That should go in there. Lovely. That should go in there. Nice. And also in there. So let's do that in there. Do that in there. And that's going to face forward like so. I think that's still a bit long. That one there is a bit long, I think. Yeah, so that one needs a little bit of a trim up. Face that this way, like so. That looks pretty good to me. Make sure it's level. Lovely. That can all be pressed together. Oh, can't get the jaws on that, so what we'll do. So we'll do these first. Do these ones. It's going to go like that. So, and that and there. It's the only thing that can be pressed like that. Yeah, it can. Didn't know that. Thought I was a bit stuck then, but I wasn't. Cool. So, nice. Make sure we tighten this drain off up because they actually come loose. And just make that square like so. Cool. That's all that. That's all in there. That's all in there. And we can finish this off. That and that. All that. So let's mark all up. Done that one, done that one, done that one. I've done that one, I've done that one, done that one. Done. They're done, they're done. These are done up here. Cool. So next what we're going to do is press something onto there. So bend flat and then press an elbow on, I think. So let's bend a bit of pipe. Let's see how we go. Plenty of rough cuts here. Gonna go. Okay. Last minute kickage, do you reckon? Let's give it some of that. Give it a little bit, test it, go again. Give it a little bit. That's got potential to be spot on, you know. If not, a bit overcooked. Let's cut that to there. Cut this to here. And see see what it's saying. Put that in there, spin that on. You know what? A little bit more kickage on that. Actually, we might be there. There's a bit of play, so if we went like that, I reckon. On there, that's not flat, so it needs to be flat. So to bring it round, I reckon that's square. That is square. What do you reckon? I reckon the tiniest bit. And that should be it. Little bit more, little bit more. Give it a little bit more. Little bit of plumber's luck. Can't beat the plumber's luck. Bit of plumber's luck. Bit of plumber's luck. Little bit of plumber's luck. So literally, we're going to give it that. Not a lot. That's probably like 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's the one. That is the one, baby. Check it square, which is there. Yeah, I reckon so. A little bit of pencil. That's definitely in there. That's square there. Square there, square. Cut that there, I reckon. And then you try and find your 22 cutter again. You had your 22 cutter over there. Did I have my 22 cutter over there? 22 cutter, 22 cutter. Lost my 22 cutter. Oh, it's on top of the cylinder this time. Of course it is. Where else is it going to be? I'm sure it's definitely in. That's where else to go. Cool. It's in your pocket now, Carl. Put that on there. That on there. Oh yeah, baby. Get yourself a elbow. Grab that on there. Put that on there. That on there. That in there. That in there. So that needs cutting down, or am I just being a bit special? Come on. Yes, that just needs to be cut down by, yeah, that much. That much needs a bit of cutting down by that much. That much. Cut it down by that much. Now I've lost the elbow. Oh, it's in my pocket. What pocket? This pocket. Right, put that in there, that in there. Spin that. Get that on there, that on there. And then all we need to do now is, I think we just cut that one down, don't we? We'll do it. Just give that a little. Hey. Shit, gone. love. That is in. Let's not do this nut. Taste it up and tighten it up a bit before we crimp it, because if we crimp it, it might twist the pipe a few degrees and we won't be able to line the nut up. So always get your nuts started, at least paste them up just in case. That's in there, and just get that started like so. At least you know that's started. Then that's all in. That's all in. That's all in. Lovely. Can press that up. Press it up, baby. That was lucky. That's got the 15mm jaws in it. Didn't swap them over, did I? Just didn't sit right, so you know. Plus it's got the writing on it, which I didn't check. Check that. One. And two. Yeah, they're pressed. And then with Marky, where's Mark? Mark the marker. There he is. It's in my pocket. No, that's a pencil. There's Marky. We've just marked them up with an X, so we know we've done them. And then we haven't tightened this nut up, but we will do. I wonder if this spanner works on it yet. Shall we see? What does? Cool. Let's grab some. Grab some grips. That light is like an old school light up here, and it is bloody hot. It's right by my head. Right, let's see what we can do with this. We'll be able to get good grips on that. No, yeah, that thread. Tighten it up. Spin that one over there. That's all good. And with Marky, the marker pen, I'm just going to mark an X on that nut. So that we know they're all done, they're all done. I believe I've tightened all these up, but we'll go around quickly and double check all the nuts. Check all the nuts. Yep. Yep. Check all me nuts, check all me nuts, check all me. So they're all good. So these are all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can check all these ones. Just against on that one. 3, 4, 5. They're all done, they're all done. So next we can get the hot pipe up to here. Got to cap this off, we're not going to use that. Right, what we need to do is we can press an elbow up here. Cool. That's what I was thinking. Do 90 and 90 with kick over to her, I think. So if we cut that one down a bit. So we can get an elbow up. Sit up here. So that elbow can go on there, that way. And hopefully we can a bit of copper. Something like that, I reckon. Something like that. There, I reckon. And then crimping elbow and a 45 onto there. That's the way to go. Crimp that on there. Cool. That one, mark. That one, and mark. That one. So they're all done. Next, we need to get an elbow on there, down there. Reckon? If we put a bend on one of these bambos here. Should we measure off that joist where it needs to be? With my tape measure. So if we measure off of, so we're connecting to this one here, so if we measure off that board is 40 plus 10, so that's 50. So if we measure off of here, 50mm off of here, 50mm off of here is that there, 50mm, so it should line up with that. Yeah. Just cut like that there. There, put that up there. That should go to that. Grab our level, and what am I sitting on? Something. So that's all. Put that up there. That just needs a tiny trim up or allow for that, so that needs to go there, and then we trim it to there. Cool. Lovely. Obviously that's now well on the wonk. So yeah, then push that in there and line that up. Make sure everything's pushed in. Pencil like so, pencil that, which is there. Up, back in there, in there, like so. Push them all on, and grab your level, double check, spot on, which is good for once for me. Not bad, makes a change, and that way just needs a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. And then with this one, just want to make sure definitely in and up to that mark. Same again with the top, because it could pull the other one out. Make sure they're all in and give them the old marker really, which is fine. Press them up. From the royal press. So, do top ones. That one. Lovely. Then done. That's the hot done, cold done. So we can mark all these. 1, 2, 4. Cool. Cool. They're all done. That's all done. That's all done. So we've got our cold in, expansion vessel down and connect onto our main. We've got then our balance cold. We've got to get round. We've done our mixers over there. Our hot out and our cold in is done. We put a bend. This balance cold is what we need next. So put a bend in. It's got to be quite long. sort of like a 45, I reckon. Go again. To the 45-degree mark. Should do us. Needs more than 45. Got it out. More like a, let's give that a 60, something like that, I reckon. To be that long, so we can cut that out of there. Cut that out of there. Cut this pipe here. We get a laser beam. Laser beams. Laser beams. Right, so that can go down. That can go down there. That can go. I think it was on here last time. That's the problem we've got. I have it here. And then undo all that. Got some laser beams there. Cool. Then the laser beams work out to there. So use mark that on there. Where's it here? Mark be there. So what we've got to do is offer that to there, and that to there. So that's where the centre is. Mark it there. So it's about, yeah, cool. Let's do that. Let's cut that. Hello?
Hello, only me.
Yeah.
You went to Tanya Bowler's at Melbourne on Wednesday. I've got on here PRV to be fitted.
Yes.
Is that something off the shelf?
No, Len should have ordered it, and as soon as it's in, we've got to ring her and let her know.
Yeah, I know. She's already phoned this morning. Okay, and did you send it to Len?
Yeah, I sent it to him yesterday. Straight away.
Okay, all right. I'll have a word with him.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, cheers.
Okay, bye.
Bye. On that mark. Cool. I've cut that one there now. Offer that up. Lovely. Give me a level on it. So the level should be down a bit. Yeah, lovely. Put that on there. Up to there. It's going to be there. Cool. Lovely. That's all good. That's all good. Lovely. That's all in. That's all in. Make sure that's definitely in. Mark it. Mark it. And we can press it. That's done. So we've got a marker pen. Mark them two with an X. So we know we've done that one. So we have now got our balance cold from here going down, across there, and over there. Lovely. So we've just got the PRV to do here. Link that round. I've capped this off now. We're not using that. This is for the solar people, so they've got the tappings here. Make sure they don't lose them. Drain off, elbow. Lovely. pushed in. And that dog. Just connect that to the shower, get some hit. Lovely. And these two, so these two here that are sticking up long, so these two here, this one here, this one here is our balance cord. We've got to link these two together, connect onto that one and connect onto the shower pipe over there. So what I'm thinking of doing is 22mm T's, yeah. Something like T on that, T elbow T, maybe T elbow T, something like that, or a T before, straight down, elbow T. I don't know what I'll do yet, because I can just go straight down, hep elbow straight up onto that. So I might put a T in first. There's no stress then, is there? Might do that. Let's do that. Let's put T looking straight down. If we put a T in, just gonna 22 for now. There. Somewhere there. So that's something like that. Bit of 22 in there, I reckon. So if we go a bit of offcut to 22. That's fine. In there. Point that down. We can crimp these two in first, can't we? We can crimp these two out of place. Gun. There it is, it's there. Cool. So we can crimp these in place, like so. These in place like so. Make sure that's pushed in. And this one. sounds a little bit like it's struggling, so I'm just gonna, for the sake of it, I'm just gonna change the battery. Even though it does have like crimp protection on it, these don't have indicators on them, so I'm just gonna go change that. How you doing? Hey! Yeah. Oh, you got a nice one. Cute. Probably put these two together somehow. Problem. It's not going to be between them, is it? The problem. I think if I cut that lower, yeah, and up and on, I reckon that will do it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut them lower. So let's cut. Yeah, because this one between here and here, there's not enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an elbow on the back one, and this a T, come up and across and on. I think that's the plan. So let's cut that down.
to walk underneath you.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Coming back.
Cheers. That and that. So then, some elbows. Shower there, shower there. That's it. So we've done the showers. Just got to link this balance cold from there to there. So, copper. Bit of copper and that's there. Grab your elbow, there down. So it's going to be there, down, just there. Cut that with the cutter that you've lost again, which is here now. Which is the second one down. perfectly with that. And it's a cutter's worked back. That goes in there. Another elbow. Another elbow on there and on there. Ta-da! And just press it all together. It's the gun. So what wants to be pressed? 2 elbows, don't we? That, okay. Yes. Lovely. Got to take that off of there and join these up down here and onto the PRVs. So we go. This is a finished article. We've got ourselves 2 down surfaces here, linked together. We've got our hot out. We've got our tea for a shower. We've got obviously our balanced cold to our shower. And over here, so they come up here, or they go down now. Cold comes up and across, and then up to the balanced, down the balanced, across and down. Got our blending valve because it's on solar, or it will be on solar. Then we got our hot out, which comes out about 60 degrees for our blending and out. So it's got to lag this up, drain off, expansion vessel, immersion that's currently on. So yeah, just got to lag all this up. Then we've got a spare relief valve for the solar, which I believe is going somewhere here, so they can use that. We've got our D2 ton dish, some lever valves. We've got our hot out lever valve, balanced cold lever valve, and our mains in lever valve. Yeah, that's it. It's got to lag all this up and tidy up. Yeah, this is the new solar job. There you go. We're all lagged up. Round here. All lagged. Now, should I have lagged the D2 up to the ton dish and all the copper pipes or not? What should have I done? Because it's in a loft, should I have lagged it? Should I not? Leave a comment down below, let me know. But for now, we're all done. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And have a good day. Take care.